welcome to Darzzr on DubTown. I've been quite busy building, and unfortunately I didn't get round to recording until now. I've been doing quite a bit of work on every area that I've been building in, actually. I've improved my storage situation here. I've got full enchanting facilities, potion facilities now. The glass looks different because I'm now using Optifine, and BOO's texture pack right now has an issue with the glass panes. The transparency isn't quite right. I've tidied up the computer to desk there, and of course we've got paintings everywhere. Largely because I thought, since I've got the sheep in my farm, I thought might as well use the wall. Farm has expanded a little bit up here now. I've got melons and carrots, and again more paintings. And if we go up to the top floor, by the way, I've actually slightly changed the beam details up there. Go to the top floor, cactus farm and netherwort farm. I think the netherwort farm was there last time. But yeah, so plenty of changes. Still not sure what to do with this area. I've put up some paintings. In some ways I really do like the space, but then again, yeah, it feels like there should be something here. Made this into a little town hall observation area where you can just, through the slightly untransparent glass, see the town hall of the west side of DubTown. So let's make our way down and show you some more of the new stuff. You see the multitude of signs as well. You know I like signs, so signs everywhere. This is my banner. This is the soap dispenser. I've now got some other... This is, oh, of course we're in 1.9 now, so I have a shield as well, and yeah, we've got dual wielding, so that's good. This is my auto fisher. It's a perfectly standard one. You can find exactly this design on YouTube. Some people on this server have had trouble with auto fishers. Some say, oh, they only work when no one else is on. Frankly, this one works very well no matter what. I often leave it going if I'm going to be busy doing something else. Yeah, it's quite nice. I've decorated it in polished granite, largely because I just did it. I had a lot of polished granite left over, basically. I did have some cobblestone in here originally. It was really just cobblestone, and then I decided I wanted a nether portal. Oh, look at that, we've got a missing block up there. I've got some spare. Let's fix that now. But yes, I really made it a bit of a mess of cobblestone to start with, so I decided I wanted to tidy up a bit, because people that came in through the nether portal, I didn't want the first thing that they saw to just be a big mass of... It's because I was talking about the granite, isn't it? I didn't want them to see that as just massive cobblestone and exposed redstone, when I'd taken a bit of care over the rest of the place. So, where's ordinary stone? There we go. Difficult to talk and do things at the same time. I've always had this problem. So, up we go. Boing, there we go. The auto fisher is, of course, exposed to the sky. Fortunately, Minecraft doesn't care about these textures. And that increases efficiency considerably. And, you know, the old trick of you fish in a storm, it is even better. So that's the way we do things. Anyway, so nether portal. I actually have my own connection to the nether now. Yay. And it's decorated in here sort of like the house itself. I wanted it to be consistent. Got my banners up, and I tried to match the surrounding details. Now, what we'll do first is... Oh, look at this, Chrome Devil. We will go up to the castle and head over to the jungle, because I did a couple of extra builds there. Here we go. Am I going to magically teleport back to the portal again due to lag? Maybe, maybe not. Seemed to be a bit of trouble on the... well, trouble with the server earlier today. It kept rebooting. Blake seemed to be having a bit of trouble with the resource packs. I don't know quite what that was about. It was difficult though, because I was high up at the time, and I kept worrying about falling off. So, there's now a job board here. Bridges and walkways have been built across the water. There's no actual jobs here that I can see, but as you can see, we've still got the tree house up there. Some other tree houses have appeared. The trees themselves seem to have got a little bit spaced out, I think because people really are cutting them down without necessarily replanting. So it's looking gradually less and less jungle, more and more sort of light forest. But I suppose that was inevitable, really. So this is the calls the tree house. I built this walkway, duplicating the style over there, which goes to that's Joe Breezy's place there. I think that's Blake's birdhouse. And there's walkways over there, and I duplicated the style to a degree. Over to these new buildings, which are, this is my Heidi hut, and this is just kind of a more, well, originally I conceived this as being like a wildlife hide where you can like sit there and watch the wildlife, but I also thought, well, it's also just it's kind of like a couple of like little beds there where you can kind of just, or couches where you can sort of lay back and just doze for a bit. So yeah, it's a combined hide and getting away from it all space. This is not really named or anything, but this is kind of like a cafe of some sort, or a little just. I mean, there's no kitchen or anything, so yeah, I don't know really what I want this to be, but I was saying to somebody else, I find it difficult to come up with some bricks there. I find it difficult to come up with an identity for buildings in the jungle build because I'm not clear what exactly it's supposed to be. Okay, well, a lot of us are building tree houses, but is it a settlement? Is it a kind of a jungle resort? Is it a jungle? Are we a separate civilization, or are we people that just happen to have built a town out in the jungle? I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, so there's a bait shop over there. So yeah, and of course some people are building up high, some people are sticking to the ground level. And there's nothing wrong with any of this. Don't get me wrong. It's not a criticism. It's what I'm saying is I personally am. I don't know what to name things. I don't know what theme to go with because it feels like there's too much uncertainty as to exactly what the identity of the place is. It's because I want to try and fit in, really. I suppose part of the joy of this is that you can actually have a lot of scope for your own interpretation of the theme and do things the way you want, rather than having everything dictated to you. But you know me, if I'm left to my own devices and I want to just do a build, generally it tends to be a bit idiosyncratic at times, and I'm going to illustrate this by taking you to another new place that I've built. Let's Crab Devil, look. And we don't go west, we go south for this one. Now, this is a slightly longer journey, but as we go down here, is there an end portal somewhere? Better explain this to him. No, we haven't gone to the end yet. That will be happening tomorrow. Yes, the Ender Dragon fight is tomorrow afternoon. Big Ender Dragon fight tomorrow, followed possibly by UHC. So there we go. That gives that away, doesn't it? What have I done here? Yes, let's keep going. So yeah, we haven't been to the end yet. We're going to the end tomorrow for the Ender Dragon fight. Lots of people are talking strategy. Personally, I think there won't be much room for strategy because, you know, you'll end up with 50 or 60 people all crammed in there. I know, like, isn't Joe wants to do snowballs only and stuff, so there's going to be all sorts of crazy stuff going on. Jungle Angel. And this is it. This is my other thing, the Jungle Angel. So in fact, originally, I should be honest, what this originally was, it was a place where where I wanted to do some mining, because I wanted to do some mining away from civilized areas, so I wasn't constantly running into other people's mines, and I wanted to have a fighting chance of getting some diamonds. I mean, I had found some in mines around spawn, but it wasn't the same thing. I needed my own little area. So I basically set up a portal in the nether to see where I would come out, and I emerged here in this jungle. Now I've cleared a bit of space around here, and this is actually where I go down into my mine, which goes down into a ravine. Now, what did I do with all the wood and leaves and stuff? Let's release this poor sheep. It's been here for ages. You may exit. Go on. Dear me. You happy now? Go on, off you go. Collision is enabled. You're free. More confused than anything. So yeah, this is it. The Jungle Angel. My nether portal, as you saw, came up in the top of what was a jungle tree. And initially I just used to climb up and down that. And then I thought, well, if people come into that nether portal, they're just going to find a portal on top of the tree with a very sort of haphazard way of getting down to the ground. And they would think, well, why has anybody even bothered to put a portal here? So I thought, no, it's going to have a structure. It's going to have a structure. So I used the wood that I'd been collecting and built the staircase up to the top with a kind of a... It's not exactly a sphere on the top, it's kind of more an egg shape, which houses the nether portal. And then I built these wings out to the side, and then I started to think, well, in a kind of way, to be honest, it started to remind me just a little bit of The Angel of the North by Anthony Gormley. And so I thought, well, it's kind of the Jungle Angel now. And so I earlier today I was thinking it needs to have some kind of wings. So I used leaves and polished diorite to make the wings. And of course the sun and moon pass directly overhead, which kind of is an interesting effect as well. So we can get it up a bit higher so you can see what it looks like from another angle. It is possible to get up onto those jungle trees over there, so let's see if we can do it. That's it. I mean, it's also, it's not... I mean, it is essentially abstract. It's just because I thought it would be an interesting shape to have those kind of wings in the side. Well, you can kind of see from here. The shape. I know it is possible to get on top of this tree, but I think you have to do it from another direction. Maybe you can't. Maybe I took down the tree that you used to be able to get up there on. Anyway, the kind of walkways out to the side. The intention is to give the impression that they are... Can we get up? Let's see if we can make a little way to get a bit higher. Yeah. I've given them a kind of a ripple feel as if they are actually a kind of a canopy over there. I didn't want it to be entirely enclosed, because part of the fun of walking to the end of those is that you can see right across the jungle. And it's just a nice feature. I mean, when you're in there, I think it's also the surprise that when you're in there, you would come through the portal and think, oh, I'm at ground level. And then either you come out these walkways or you go down the stairs and you realise, actually, I'm quite a way up. Is there a quick way down? Maybe there is. I have fear of falling anyway. Let's go up there and onto one of those walkways and you can see what it's like. And at some point I should make a bed here, shouldn't I? Actually, I know where there's a sheep. let's go get that sheep. I've got a job for you, matey. There you go. And the sun will be coming up. That's nice. Of course, this in the treehouse, I seem to have got stuck on this theme of style staircases, but really, with a nether portal in the sky, I didn't want to make another huge staircase down to the ground like I did back with the elite ships on Crater City. First of all, it just looks very artificial. And secondly, not that this looks natural, but it takes up so much of the landscape, and disguising it in a building would be so much more work. So yes, let's use some of the wood that we've got. Oh, actually, I've got wood in my inventory. I can never remember. Yes, it's 3. So we'll make a little bed. Where will it go? I suppose it should go right there. Now, we'll go out to one of the walkways. They are exactly symmetrical. In fact, when I put the wings up, I then went down to that tree I was at earlier and looked at them, and I realised that they weren't symmetrical. So I went all the way up to the top, and then I realised that in fact there were mistakes from both of them. It wasn't just they mismatched, I'd actually just got the counting wrong, the height, for both of them, which was a pain. So yeah, you get this lovely view from the moon and the sun at the same time from the walkway. You can actually see right out to the end of the render distance there. I suppose I could increase Optifine's render distance a little bit. There is a desert quite near here. I know there is somebody else that's out in this jungle as well, but you can't. I mean, obviously we can't see each other from where we are, because I did check, because obviously I don't want to just use up somebody else's skyline. But I know that there's desert because I haven't actually noted down what my coordinates are, and sometimes when I was mining down in cave systems, I completely lost track of where I was, and the really all I was able to do is just start walking north until I hit civilization, and you know, it's a fair distance. So this is what it looks like from the top of the head. You can get onto the head. I call this the head. I have thought about maybe actually building a separate head for it, but then again, I like the abstract nature of this not really having a head. You can see the pattern here. The polished diorite in BWO's pack has variety on it, so it looks like brick texture but with a lot of variation. Each successive column of leaves is 2 blocks higher than the previous one, and each pile of diorite is 1 block more than the previous one. So they get the whole net result is, of course, that each column is 3 blocks higher than the previous, and they all have a torch at the top, even if you can't see that. The reason for this trapdoor detail, although it does break up the sort of head texture, is simply because I wanted an access doorway onto the head, and I realised that with the new trapdoor rules, you can actually enclose a space in 3 trapdoors. I don't think you could do that before and still climb up into it. And yeah, so this is all brand new, and I don't think anybody other than me has seen this yet either, because this has been my own little build, the Jungle Angel. So yeah, that's what I have been working on, and those are my projects. And as I say, tomorrow Ender Dragon, and we will see who kills the Ender Dragon. How long will it take? Will it be seconds? How many times will everybody die? And of course, there will be as much as everybody kind of hopes that nobody's just going to do a grand scramble for the Elytra. Of course, there probably will be. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And boing, boing, boing. here we are back at home. Hey! That is slightly better than just seeing a load of cobblestone, really, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That was a rhetorical question.